All right, Steve Atwater joining us here on the phone. Let's talk a little bit about the Broncos' loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In that game, Steve, I was talking about it a little earlier. It felt like on second watch that it was a game where the Broncos were kind of outmatched, whether it's because of injuries or because of really the talent of Tampa Bay. I don't want to take anything away from them. It just seemed like they were a little bit outmatched in this game. What did you overall see when you watched the Broncos and Bucs?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same thing. They have a bunch of guys who have played a lot of football, especially their quarterback. And although they haven't been playing a long time together, they were much more on the same page than we were. And they improved a lot from that first game that the Buccaneers played where Tom Brady and his receivers, they weren't on the same page. They definitely were on the same page yesterday. And, I know that we aren't the best team we can be right now with the injuries that we have, and it is what it is. And but hey, I think our guys fought. They did the best they could, and I'm not making any excuses for them, but I think we just got a little bit too many injuries right now.
Do you think that with regard to the quarterback position, would you stay with Jeff Driscoll despite that disastrous performance, or would you go with Brett Rippon, who looked like he gave a little bit of spark there in the last drive in the fourth quarter?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm not sure, man, because, watching in training camp, it wasn't a great situation. I really wasn't, overly impressed. I think it's going to be tough, man. Without Drew Lock in there, I don't care who you put in there now. I mean, it's going to be rough on whoever it is because, they don't know the offense as well as Drew Lock because with the lack of reps, lack of, live preseason games, we couldn't get the reps to anyone but Drew Lock. So anyone else is going to be less than that. And I don't care who you are, man. I don't care who you get off the streets, who you bring in. It's going to be like this for a while. So hopefully Drew Lock's injury will heal a little faster than we're all hoping.
It seemed like in that game against the Bucs that the interior of the offensive line really struggled. And we've seen different parts of the offensive line struggle at different times this year. The one thing that we can say I feel pretty confident is Garrett Bowles on the left side has been pretty good overall. But generally speaking, what have you thought of the offensive line play? And even though they've had a higher level of competition, I mean, the Steelers and the Bucs, their defense front's phenomenal. Do you have major concerns about the offensive line right now?
Yeah, early in the game, I thought they were doing a good job of staying on their blocks longer, and that's one of the things I felt was the key to this game was our offensive linemen, hanging on to those blocks and just blocking our guys longer to, close to when the whistle blows and, blocking them for 1.5, 2 seconds and then coming off and then the guy come off a good block and then go and get in on the tackle. That shouldn't happen. So I did a good job at early on, but as the game went on, it was more of, last week's game started coming in where, they just weren't holding those blocks long enough. And, yeah, Garrett Bowles, he had the highest offensive lineman rating, 76.7 according to Pro Football Focus, and Elijah Wilkinson was next at 71.3. So we definitely had some problems on the interior. Unfortunately, our center, Lloyd Cushenberry and Graham Glasgow, they had the two lowest grades according to Pro Football Focus. Graham actually had a lower grade than Lloyd Cushenberry, but it's just a part of the process, man. And you saw how they line guys up on the line of scrimmage. They had 5-6 guys on the line, and then they back the inside guys out and send the guys from the edge, and the guys on the inside wouldn't block anybody. And then 1 or 2 guys on the edge would come free. And if you are not on the same page and you haven't done this stuff over and over and over again, it's difficult to, go up and defend or protect against a defense that's throwing those different looks at you, man. They'll confuse the heck out of you. And I think that's just what happened, man. We haven't been together long enough. And, hopefully we can everybody stay together and stay healthy from this point, and we just continue to learn. But as it is right now, man, we got a lot of work to do.
Would you consider pulling Cushenberry for Austin Schlottman, who I'm going to be honest, looked better in training camp? They went with the rookie because they drafted him. They want to get him in there, and the difference they felt, I guess, was negligible. But the knock on Cushenberry coming out of LSU is he struggled in pass pro at times, and he has struggled through 3 games. Is this something we need to keep an eye on about making a change, or do you think that this is something that you just keep on keeping on?
Yeah, well, I mean that's certainly some consideration, but at the same time, I mean, we're 0-3 right now. I think this is a good opportunity to get all the young guys some experience to, where, they're going to get better each and every week. You're not going to get any better watching from the sidelines. And, it may do something to his confidence, but, him coming from a program at LSU, they had big games every week, and I know every game he didn't play perfectly, so he can handle a little bit of criticism, and you got to go through that improvement process, and it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, especially a jump from going against college centers where every week you're not playing against an elite nose guard, whereas the NFL every week you line up, you're going to be facing somebody that's a dog. So. I'd be more inclined to stay with them now if our record were reversed. We're 3-0 or 2-1. Hey, maybe if that was a huge issue, then yeah, maybe you look at that. But right now, I'll say hey, get the experience, especially while we got a lot of guys injured. We can find some bright spots in here. Even if we're not winning games, guys can go out and compete and get better every week.
Steve Allbright joining us here. No, but I mean, I'll be honest. You got to be honest. No, I think that's completely appropriate.